Have you ever paused and wondered what the last year of life really looks like? Not in a fearful way, but with honest curiosity. What changes begin to appear when someone's body and spirit slowly start to prepare for rest? It's a question that can weigh on any heart. Whether you're a caregiver, a son or daughter, a friend, or simply someone growing older and noticing small shifts in your own energy. When we understand these changes, we stop feeling helpless. We learn how to meet them with calm, compassion, and love instead of fear. This video isn't meant to be sad. It's meant to open your eyes to the quiet beauty that can live even inside life's final chapter. Because knowing what's happening allows us to bring more peace, comfort, and closeness to the people we love. So, take a deep breath, find a quiet space in your heart, and together, let's explore the 7 emotional and physical signs many seniors show in their final year of life. Sign 1. A noticeable decline in physical activity. 1. Of the earliest and clearest signs is a gentle but steady slowdown in physical movement. You might see a loved one who once moved easily, now prefer the comfort of their chair. Walks to the garden become shorter. Small chores that once felt effortless now take planning or are quietly left undone. At first, it may look like simple aging, but over time the difference becomes more visible. The body, incredibly wise in its own way, begins to save energy. Not because it's giving up, but because it's preparing. Think about Robert, 84 years old, who loved mowing his lawn and greeting neighbors every morning. Over a few months, he started watching the world from his window instead. He told his daughter, "I still like seeing the garden. I just don't have the same push to be out there." That shift isn't laziness. It's the body choosing comfort over exertion. You might notice longer naps, shorter walks, and a subtle change in posture, the way someone leans a little more when they stand, or takes a moment before moving from one room to another. Families sometimes struggle with this stage. We want our loved ones to stay active, to keep going like before. But real love often means accepting the new rhythm instead of urging more movement. It helps to offer support, bring a cup of tea, sit together on the porch, share a quiet conversation. Moments like these become precious. The goal isn't to keep them busy, it's to help them feel safe, seen, and comfortable. Because slowing down physically often means they are turning their attention inward, toward reflection, peace, and memories that matter most. Transition to part 2. In the next section, we'll look at another gentle signal, one that appears right at the dinner table. When taste, hunger, and appetite begin to fade, the body is sending quiet messages that deserve our understanding. Sign 2. Changes in appetite and eating habits. Food has always been more than nutrition. It's comfort, celebration, and connection. It's how families show love. A warm meal shared around the table, a slice of pie after a long day, a favorite soup made just right. That's why it can feel worrying when a senior starts eating less or losing interest in meals. But when we look deeper, we see that this change is not about stubbornness or pickiness. It's a natural part of the body's quiet transition. As energy levels drop and organs begin to slow down, the body no longer demands as much fuel. Digestion takes effort, and so it gently begins to shift its focus away from heavy eating and toward comfort, rest, and calm. It's like a candle that once burned brightly, now glowing a little softer, saving its light for as long as it can. Take Alice, who had spent her whole life baking for others. Her kitchen always smelled like cinnamon and butter, and she was known for her famous peach cobbler. But during her final year, her son noticed she stopped baking altogether. At dinner, she'd take only a few bites and say, "I'm full," even though the meal had barely started. When asked, she would smile gently and say, "I just don't have the same hunger anymore." It wasn't sadness. It was simply her body signaling it needed less. Families often find this hard. We want to feed those we love. It's our way of showing care. but forcing large meals or worrying over every skipped bite can create unnecessary tension. Instead, the best thing we can do is listen to the body's new rhythm. Serve smaller, lighter portions, maybe soup, soft fruits, or something easy to chew. Encourage sips of water, tea, or juice throughout the day. Sometimes, even the smell or taste of a favorite dish can bring comfort, even if only a few bites are eaten. More than anything, what matters isn't the amount of food. It's the feeling of togetherness. Sitting beside your loved one, holding their hand as you share a meal, or simply being there while they eat quietly can bring warmth that goes beyond nutrition. Love feeds the heart when the body no longer craves much else. And remember, this gentle shift is not always permanent or predictable. Appetite might return briefly, then fade again. It's the body's way of finding balance day by day. What stays constant is your patience, kindness, and presence. Transition to the next sign. As meals grow smaller and rest becomes more important, another pattern often begins to emerge: the need for more and longer sleep. In the next part, we'll explore why many seniors start spending more time resting, and how families can turn that time into peace instead of worry. Sign 3. More frequent and longer periods of sleep. Sleep has always been a refuge. It restores the body, clears the mind, and brings a quiet pause to the busyness of life. But in the final year of life, sleep often becomes more frequent, longer, and deeper than it ever was before. You might notice your loved one napping in the afternoon, dozing off mid-conversation, or sleeping well into the morning. Even activities that once brought energy, folding laundry, making a phone call, or walking a short distance, might now be followed by a sudden need to rest. This isn't laziness. It's the body conserving energy, using rest to heal and focus on comfort, and allowing the mind to drift peacefully. Take Charles, 82, who always loved his morning crossword puzzles and afternoon card games. During his last year, his daughter noticed that he would doze off mid-puzzle, missing the start of a game with friends. He would apologize softly, embarrassed by his fatigue, but his family reassured him, "Charles, it's okay. Your body just needs a little more rest now." Longer and more frequent sleep is a gentle signal, not a sign of weakness or decline to fear. It's the body quietly preparing for what lies ahead, prioritizing peace and comfort over constant activity. For families, this is a time to create an environment of calm. Dim the lights, keep the room quiet, and let them rest when they need to. If they want to sleep, allow it. Don't wake them unnecessarily. And here's something beautiful. Even in sleep, presence matters. Sit nearby, hold a hand, or read softly in the same room. Your gentle presence can provide reassurance without words, offering comfort that reaches deeper than conversation ever could. Sometimes, rest becomes a sacred time, a space where reflection, memories, and emotions quietly rise and settle. This stage of life is not about giving up. It's about trusting the body's rhythm and honoring the pace it needs. Transition to part 4. As sleep increases and rest becomes more central, another sign often appears: withdrawal from social activities and conversation. In the next part, we'll explore why many seniors begin to pull away from friends, family gatherings, and even casual interactions, and how to respond with compassion and understanding. Sign 4. Withdrawal from social life and conversation. 1. Of the more emotional signs families notice is a gentle retreat from social activities and conversation. The person who once eagerly joined every gathering, phoned friends daily, or smiled warmly at neighbors might now decline invitations more often. Sometimes, they may sit quietly in a room, listening but speaking less, or step away early from events they once enjoyed. At first, this change can be confusing or even upsetting. Families often ask, are they lonely? Are they depressed? But withdrawal at this stage is rarely about sadness alone. It's often the mind and body seeking calm, peace, and a slower rhythm, a chance to focus on reflection and comfort. Take Helen, 81, who was known for her cheerful personality and love of community events. During her final year, She began declining invitations to her book club and spent afternoons sitting quietly by her window. Her daughter noticed that Helen seemed content with simpler, quieter conversations, savoring moments of stillness instead of busy gatherings. She wasn't isolating herself out of unhappiness. She was choosing peace. For families, it can be tempting to encourage more activity, more social interaction, or more conversation. But the greatest gift at this stage is presence without pressure. Simply sitting beside your loved one, holding their hand, or sharing a calm meal or quiet TV show can provide immense comfort. Acknowledging their need for calm helps them feel respected and safe. This withdrawal is a gentle cue, a sign that the person is turning inward, reflecting on life, savoring memories, and conserving emotional energy. It is also an opportunity for families to focus on quality over quantity. A few meaningful moments together can be more profound than hours of busy socializing. Even if you feel sadness or worry, remember that this stage is part of the natural flow of life. It is a time to listen without expectation, to offer companionship without insistence, and to honor the personal space your loved one needs. Transition to Part 5. While withdrawing socially, another change often appears quietly: memory, focus, and communication shifts. In the next section, we'll explore how subtle lapses in memory or attention can signal deeper changes and how to respond with patience, empathy, and love. Sign 5. Memory, focus, and communication changes. Memory is a delicate tapestry, woven from countless moments of life. In the last year, many seniors experience subtle shifts in memory, focus, and communication, and these changes can feel both natural and startling. You might notice them forgetting familiar names, misplacing everyday objects, or pausing mid-sentence while searching for the right word. Sometimes they repeat themselves in conversations, or struggle to follow the flow of a story. These moments aren't signs of a failing spirit. They are reflections of the body and mind slowing down in harmony with each other. Take Patricia, 79, who had always loved storytelling. She could recount her grandchildren's milestones in perfect detail. During her final year, her daughter noticed Patricia sometimes lost her train of thought halfway through a story or repeated herself several times on a single phone call. At first, Patricia felt embarrassed and worried she was forgetting too much. But with gentle reassurance, her family helped her feel accepted and loved, reminding her that the value of her stories lay not in perfect recollection but in the shared emotion and connection they brought. These memory shifts can be frustrating for both seniors and caregivers. Instinct to correct or prompt them is natural, but it can lead to tension or embarrassment. Instead, responding with patience, humor, and gentle guidance creates a safe space where communication remains loving and affirming. Even when words fail, emotions persist. Love, gratitude, and peace are remembered long after details fade. Listening carefully, allowing pauses, and validating feelings. These small actions are incredibly meaningful. Sometimes, the person might forget the story's details, but they never forget the warmth of your presence or the comfort of your voice. The key is to prioritize connection over accuracy. Offer small reminders only when necessary. Repeat information calmly and let the conversation flow naturally. Remember, the goal is not to test memory, but to support dignity and emotional well-being. This stage, while subtle, is powerful. It teaches patience, compassion, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. By honoring these memory and communication changes, families can deepen their connection and create moments that feel meaningful and secure, even when words sometimes fail. Transition to Part 6. Memory changes often coincide with another profound shift: emotional and mood changes. In the next section, we'll explore how seniors' moods can fluctuate, become more reflective, or even surprisingly calm, and how families can provide gentle, non-judgmental support during this time. Sign 6. Emotional and mood changes. Emotions are the heartbeat of our inner lives, and in the last year of life, many seniors experience noticeable shifts in mood and emotional outlook. Some become more reflective, quiet, or sentimental. Others may display moments of sadness, frustration, or even tears over small things that once didn't matter. Yet, at the same time, many develop a new calm or acceptance, a gentle peace that comes from looking back on life and letting go of old regrets. Take Howard, 82, a man who had always been jovial and quick with jokes. During his final year, his family noticed he became more contemplative. He'd sometimes tear up while listening to old songs, or pause during family meals to express gratitude for the simple joys. Sunlight streaming through a window, laughter of grandchildren, or a favorite meal shared together. Howard's daughter realized these moments were not weakness, but deep emotional presence, an acknowledgement of life's impermanence and beauty. These shifts can be puzzling or emotional for caregivers and family members. You may feel a sense of worry when your loved one seems sad, or perhaps surprise when someone becomes unusually joyful or reflective. But it's important to remember, these emotional changes are natural and meaningful. They are often the heart and mind's way of preparing, processing, and letting go. Sometimes seniors need space to reflect silently, while other times they seek gentle conversation or reassurance. How can families respond? Listen without judgment, validate feelings, even sadness or fear. Offer comforting words, gentle touches, or shared quiet moments. Encourage reminiscence, gratitude, or storytelling. These can be profoundly healing. Mood. Changes are also an opportunity for connection and empathy. Being present during emotional highs and lows shows your loved ones they are supported and loved, that their feelings, no matter how subtle or intense, are honored. Even when words are not spoken, your presence communicates care, compassion, and understanding. This emotional awareness, more than anything, strengthens bonds and creates a sense of peace for everyone involved. Transition to Part 7. Finally, as the body and mind move toward rest, another subtle but important change may appear. Changes in breathing patterns and overall comfort. In the next section, we'll explore how these physical cues signal the body's preparation and how families can help seniors feel at ease during this stage. Sign 7. Subtle changes in breathing and physical comfort in the last year of life. The body often communicates through subtle physical cues, especially changes in breathing and overall comfort. You may notice a loved one taking shallower breaths, sighing more often, or needing to pause after even small activities like standing, walking a few steps, or talking. Some seniors experience shortness of breath even while sitting quietly, while others adjust frequently to find comfort, shifting their position, using extra pillows, or resting their hands on swollen joints. Take Frances, 83, who loves sitting by the window to watch the morning sun. Her son noticed she would pause to catch her breath mid-conversation and sometimes complain of mild swelling in her ankles. Rather than making a fuss, she adjusted her favorite chair closer to the sunlight, took slow breaths, and focused on the small joys around her. This quiet attentiveness to comfort was her body's gentle way of managing energy and preparing for rest. These subtle changes are not necessarily painful, but they are signs that the body is focusing on ease and conserving strength. Families can help by making small adjustments. Soft pillows for support, light blankets to maintain warmth, a fan or open window for fresh air, gentle hand-holding, or soothing presence. Even small acts of care can transform discomfort into peace. It's a reminder that the presence of loved ones matters more than any intervention. Just being there quietly and patiently is often the most meaningful. Support closing reflection, honoring the final journey. As we come to the end of this conversation, take a moment to reflect on what we've explored. Physical slowdown, the body's gentle need for rest, changes in appetite, a shift toward comfort over consumption, more frequent sleep, energy, conservation as a natural process, withdrawal from social life, turning inward for peace and reflection, memory and communication shifts, emphasizing connection over accuracy, emotional and mood changes, a heart, processing life's journey, subtle changes in breathing, and comfort, the body signaling a slower pace. These signs are not meant to cause fear. They are gentle reminders of life's natural rhythm, opportunities for families to provide love, understanding, and support. Every moment of patience, every shared memory, every quiet presence is a gift, not just to the senior, but to the family and caregivers as well. Being there, fully and calmly, allows us to honor the dignity, peace, and love that define the final chapter of life. Perhaps you've noticed some of these signs in someone you love. Maybe you've even seen them in yourself. A slower pace, more reflection, an increased need for rest. These are not weaknesses. They are part of the sacred rhythm of living and preparing for life's natural conclusion. By recognizing these signs, we can respond with empathy, compassion, and wisdom. We can create environments that are calm, loving, and supportive, spaces where seniors feel respected and cherished, and where families feel empowered to care without fear. Life's final year is a unique journey for everyone, but with awareness, patience, and presence, we can transform it into a time of peace, meaning, and love. Thank you for joining us today. If this video has touched you or helped you understand a loved one better, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support allows us to continue creating meaningful content for families, caregivers, and those navigating life's later chapters. Remember, even in life's final season, every moment together, every smile, every touch, every shared memory is a treasure. Be present, be patient, be compassionate, because love, care, and presence are the greatest gifts we can give at any stage of life.